Test. Wow.
Yeah.
What did you
Test
say?
this out,
Testing,
man.
testicles. All right.
Let me check mine.
Oh.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Is this your one?
All right, that's yours. All right. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the L.O.V is the Message Legacy Hour chat. That's right. Today is a very special day for all of us. All right. But before I introduce this gentleman, I would like to remind everybody that the L.O.V is the Message Legacy Hour chat was created to get to know each other a little bit more. Most of us know each other a lot, very, very well. And to share with our friends and followers stories that you won't find in books, that's for sure. The relationship and history that we have with each other, and those times that we share from the early days, from the inception of our dance music culture. These are stories among friends, and we invite you to listen and enjoy what these iconic, influential individuals have to say. Having said that, I really have the pleasure of knowing these people, and we have a great time talking to each other all the time. But we want to bring this in for so openly, so you can see the relationship that we have. Tomorrow we have another legendary, iconic member of the DJ and Artist Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my pleasure today to introduce to you Miami's own Jimmie Elias, a.k.a. Jimmy Disco, among many other AKAs. And this man is one of those people who you really enjoy his company, and you know that when you are with this guy, you're going to have a great time. And this is why, God has put this guy in our industry to bring his talent and his knowledge for all of us. Jimmie, I just want to read a few things from Jimmie Elias before we go into it. Jimmie's first gig as a DJ was in his dad's business in Detroit. This is true. You're from Detroit, obviously, where he worked with an Emerson turntable and played 78s.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Not giving away my age, right?
Yeah, the first songs that truly stuck on him were Rain 2000 by Calhoun and Hey Love by Marti. It's been a while since then. 45s were the popular source of media in those days. Okay, well, that's good and wonderful. But, Jimmie, welcome to the Legends of Vinyl Hall of Fame, a little sanctuary of us that is part of you as well. All right, thank you so much for being here.
No, and I appreciate being here. I especially appreciate, Louis, you and your wife, your wonderful wife, Ricky, for welcoming not only me, but every other member of our organization to your beautiful home, and I was on Facebook Live a little while ago to let everybody know that I was coming up for this interview and also to jam, because we're going to jam.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
and I are going to jam.
We have to do it.
We're going to go live here, but we're trying to get everybody to understand that this radio station is also a visual radio station. So you could be driving in your car and listening, or you can be home watching and listening. Yeah, we're not gonna let everybody watch. Boy, the people were looking at me when I was doing the live video from my truck, and they were like, every comment was, "Dude, watch the road. Put your phone down. Do this."
Because
do
they
that.
love you, man.
Yeah.
People care for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
what else can you do?
It was fun. But we were actually safe, thank God. And we got up here, and once again, Louis, this hour for me, that it's more about our organization than it is about me. I've done basically everything that I ever wanted to do in the music field. And, you gave a little bit of the bio. Yeah, I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and that was back in 1954. and my birthday's coming up in 2 weeks.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Hint.
Well, hopefully the mayors of Dade County and the city of Miami will allow us to reopen the club at Renaissance,
Right.
so that we can celebrate my birthday as we have for the last 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Just think a little bit about that. I'm sorry to interrupt
That's
you, pal.
right.
But I have to remind everybody that in this industry, 15 years is an eternity.
Right.
There is not many people that can claim
Yeah.
that owning a nightclub, they can go over 5 years. 5
Right.
years is like, wow.
Yeah.
Now, 15 years is, man,
Well,
must be
actually-
doing something amazing.
Actually, it's been
yeah.
20, since we acquired our property. When we bought that property,
Mhm.
we started right up. We were doing the club scene not as big as we went, but we started small and built it up, and so it's been over 20 years. In
My
that,
God. For those who have the pleasure of being in Miami at the Club of Renaissance, and his family, his entire family are incredible people, wonderful people. They welcome you to this incredible, wonderful building, and he owns several.
Yeah.
But what
Don't
what
say it too
happens
loud.
is that there's 3 clubs in this place, in one of them anyways, and gorgeous. I'm telling you, when you're in Miami, please don't forget. Club
at
of Renaissance will be
Yeah.
opening soon.
Hopefully.
And I'm hopefully. But,
Hopefully.
Jimmy, I mean, you've been around for such a long time, in the 70s, and we share a lot of things in common because we not just love music, but we we have passed our, very, very, in many
Our paths.
places.
Yeah.
In many places, and I'm so happy that he was one of the DJs to take over when I left in Las Vegas, one of the clubs that I worked at
That
in
was,
1979. And let me tell you, I didn't know who was taking over for me until so many years later. And that to me was just like
great. It's a
mind
great
blowing.
thing. I moved to Las Vegas for a while.
Right.
And I was following a dream out there too. And my friend Richard Scotty was the DJ that was a full-time resident DJ at Jubilations. And my good friend Frankie Annabelle, Frankie was just a young kid, man. He's a whippersnapper. When I met Frankie out there in '79, and I was really, really, really happy. My other friend Chuck Haas, we went into Las Vegas, and we restructured a little bit of the music out there. The music in Vegas at that time was purely more funk.
It was a lot of funk. But
Yeah. We
what
brought the
happened
East
is
Coast sound
the
out there.
music was changing.
Right.
The music was, and one of the reasons that I got to Vegas was to kill disco, which I managed to do that. But disco kept on going. I mean,
Right.
and thank God for Jimmy Disco to continue doing what came naturally,
Yeah.
But let's go back a little back because we going forward too fast.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your childhood, really, because I want the world to know what made Jimmy become a DJ. Who was that mentor? Who gave you that, initiative, that gift?
Coming from Detroit, most people know that Detroit is the home of Motown. If anybody's into music, you gotta love the Motown sound. The R&B, the rhythms that came out of my hometown. A lot of roots originated from Detroit, Michigan.
Right.
Barry Gordy was ahead of his time back then, and the list of all the legendary singers, Stevie Wonder, the Temptations, all these groups, man. The Motown Review was just outstanding. I was a young kid. My dad had an electronics and a wholesale store in downtown Detroit, and we were like blocks away from the Motown studios.
Wow.
So, I remember at the age of about 11 years old, Barry Gordy came in to buy, this is how old we are, the little miniature reel-to-reels. Okay, they looked like a cassette deck, a small little thing with tape reels. If he needed to record some songs really quick so that his acts could rehearse them. And I just remember looking at the guy and going, damn, that's the guy that handles, people like Stevie Wonder and, Diana Ross and all these people and stuff. And he was funny. He told me, hey, whenever you want to come into the studio and sweep up tape, that's where you start, all the edits, pick up the tape and the garbage, Yeah, it was cool as shit. Yeah. And then the real thing was that at that same time, I was in school, and I became like very interested in being a broadcaster, So, my Catholic school upbringing, there was one particular nun, she was awesome.
You always remember that nun. I do too.
Yeah, she was, and it's not because she didn't get none. It was that she got so much praise from us students. Yeah. I remember being in 8th grade, and this nun told me, I want you to read the newspaper every day, and I want you to record it on a little tape recorder. So, I had the tape recorders. Right. So I started doing and rehearsing. I got into forensics and started competing in forensics debates, and won a national championship at the University of Michigan. And from there it was like, I went to broadcasting school down here when we were here. When we moved down to Miami, I started going to Miami Lakes Tech, and I started to take broadcasting, in journalism classes, and I loved it. But the music in me was, there were people like the legendary Kid Curry, that lived right across the street from the transmitting station, that would pop in, and we were young whippersnappers back then, and I just got really into the music and playing, and I bought myself some little equipment so that I could just play one song and then another one, and then I was fortunate, Louis. I got to meet, through some friends of mine, I got to meet one of the radio guys down here. His name was Enriquito de la Maza. Ricky Tiki. Okay. This guy had an ongoing little AM radio show that was being transmitted out of an old theater down in Little Havana. And this guy would play the 45s, and Sitting in the Park and Color My World, all the little love songs and stuff. And he would dedicate the songs to all the little girls that would be calling up, and we'd be answering the phones, and what do you want to request? And they'd say, oh, my name's Maria, and I want to dedicate this song out to Billy, and remember he would do that. Sure. And then I started to get more into the music and trying to edit the stuff for him and get it going. That was the beginnings of my broadcasting, and it was really great. I started to work with him, and then we came along and we did the first teen dance show in South Florida.
What that was in the mid-70s when you were on channel
51 at the time.
Called More Disco. The show was recorded live at Salón Azul. And now just a little history on Salón Azul. It was my parents' 25th wedding anniversary, and we had the opportunity to use a space that my uncle had on Calle Ocho in 18th Avenue. And it was an old, he just built a factory. It didn't go good for him there. And he let us use the space. We did the party. There was over 300 people there. One of the local bands that were my friends came to play at that party for my parents' anniversary. And when we saw, I looked and I said, damn, this could be an ongoing thing, So I fixed up the place. Long story short, my family got behind us, and we started doing Sunday night dances for teenagers, charging $2. Wow. $2. Yeah. And before you knew it, we had 1,000 kids coming to the place every week, standing in line outside, and the rest was history. That was back, in 1974, 75. I actually traded in my brand new Lincoln Continental for a van because my mobile business. You went from a Lincoln to
a Chevy van.
That's like
but it was an awesome move.
Yeah, well, Jimmy introduced disco at Sebastian's, a gay women's club, and at Deja Vu at the Lido Hotel.
Yeah, at the
I mean, tell me a little bit about that. That's pretty interesting.
now I always had a love for horses, and by doing what I like to do, I've always been an outreach person, trying to help underprivileged kids,
Right.
to enjoy some of the things
Do that.
that they've never experienced. And through one thing or another, I ended up getting a horse, and then I got a horse from my brother, and then we ended up having almost 18 horses. But we would take the kids out, and we'd drive to the barns and saddle up the horses and do a trail with the kids. And one day this guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, on the side of my van I had Jimmy E. Disco, and I had this little Ziggy emblem." And the guy was saying, "Who is that guy?" So the guy walks up to me and he says, "Listen, I own a club. I own an all-women's club on 17th Avenue, which was right down the street from my house." He goes, "What could you do for me?" So I ended up installing my system in there, and we started playing disco. They had a jukebox there prior to that, and that club became a very successful club. So we introduced DJing,
Ooh.
disco DJs at that as we did as well. I've had so many clubs over the years. I've been fortunate enough to have owners of hotels on the beach, from the early 1970s. They've given me the opportunity to build out clubs, and then I would go in, promote the club, get it going, and then move on to the next one.
That's such a great history, because you go way back, and some of our friends obviously go so far back in the beginnings of the Miami sort of infancy in the disco era. Even before that, Jimmy U is one of those.
Yeah.
Our friend Jimmy U,
Jimmy U.
and also Bo Crane. Who is also a board of director of the Legends of Vinyl. Bo Crane, a wonderful, talented man.
Bo is
And,
such a
yeah.
great guy.
Yeah, sure is.
Bo had probably, without a doubt, the best record pool in the state of Florida. Forget about
Right.
just South Florida.
Right.
And even though my cousin, Artie Jacobs,
Right, that's true, yeah.
Artie Jacobs
Artie
also had a
Jacobs.
record pool, but Bo was one of the originators. I'll never forget, Bo used to handle the cruise ships. He had a lot of accounts
Right.
on the cruise ships, so he had a bunch of DJs working in there, on the cruise ships. We didn't have, 1200s back then. We had reel-to-reels and cassette decks,
Cassette decks,
and
that's what,
trying to
sure,
keep a
yeah.
record on the open seas, man. When you got into
No. I tried that once,
Yeah.
and I got dizzy, and oh my God. And I never did it again. But yes, you're Bo Crane, obviously, and
Yeah.
the two of you. I consider these two gentlemen to be the Miami image. You have helped so many people. The stories that have been told by so many wonderful friends of yours, and it's important to remind everybody how important it is for a person like him and to help other people, help the DJ community. And some of them are still, alive. Umberto Fleitas is one of them. A good
Umberto,
guy.
I was gonna, I was gonna say, Louis, not to cut you. Umberto Fleitas is such a wonderful person.
Yes, he is.
Great DJ.
Humble as they come.
I used to enjoy seeing him at the Mutiny, and our other friend Louis, who we call him Rattlesnake. That's what his nickname was. But they would jam, and Jimmy U was at Widow McCoy's back
Widow
then.
McCoy's, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We,
They-
and then there was Honey for the Bears with Carlos Nodal. These are the preliminary, like the mix 2 on
from the
79th Street
inception,
Causeway.
on the
Yeah.
inception of
Yeah.
the nightclub disco. So it's important, if you want to know a little bit about history, if you would really, really want to know who these people are, you call Jimmy, you call Umberto, and you call Bo. Don't go by whatever you hear, because now social media has made it possible for Raimundo y todo el mundo, as I call it, and everybody and their mothers,
Yeah.
they're DJs from, and they can say anything they want. It's second, third generation. I'm sorry, but I am a little prejudiced about that. First generation, this jockeys.
Well, listen, it's always it's really an honor to be considered, and to be awarded into this prestigious group. And some of the guys from New York that through crossing paths through the years.
Right.
I remember I went up to New York one time, and I hung out there for about 6 months. And I remember meeting a guy, tall, skinny guy, playing in Crisco Disco.
Oh my God, Frank Core.
Frank Core, our brother. Yeah, Frank Core.
Frank.
What a trip it was with Frank
A
Core.
legend, a wonderful man. Let me tell you, I adore this man. The talent of this man, 70, whatever the case. I don't want to give his name.
No, we keep him. We keep Frank at 69. It's a good number.
I can't get enough of because Frank is just so talented,
He's a great
and
guy.
I love him dearly. And a big shout out to Frank Core.
Frank Core.
Crisco Disco. In those days, Frank was making an incredible hit.
Right.
Working from Studio 54 in the early 80s. And then doing the transition and all of that. What a talented man he is. God bless you, Frank.
Yeah.
for
And
doing
we, like I said, it was like a great. You were asking me about the roots of and why let me tell you something, man. There was nothing more exciting than to hear a song coming up and like clicking with that song. In my early young adult life, after went to college there for the journalism classes and whatnot, I was working for Southern Bell back then. It was, Southern Bell. And I remember, man, when Let's Get It On came out, and I would be driving my phone truck and going into Coconut Grove, and I could have sworn that the buildings were swaying to the rhythm of Let's Get It On.
That's that bad acid.
Yeah, no, it was good pot. But without, it was just like that kind of feel. For me, it's always been in my heart, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
We are individuals that are gifted. God gave us that gift to understand music, to actually, in so many cases, we are able to dissect the song in our brains,
Right.
which is very difficult for a lot of people to actually even imagine what we can do. And that's how, so many DJs use different techniques to really how to blend a song. In the beginning, it was slip cueing, and then it was the mixing. Some DJs use the bottom. I'm one of them. I use bottom. Some use the snare. Some use the cymbals. So, they're different. It's like another DJ that we both know, Mark Zimmer. Mark Zimmer, this man is mind-boggling. I mean, the way he
Zimmer.
Zim Zimmer, he describes how he mixes, and he understands, he can read music, actually.
Yeah.
And, so he goes from violin to violin. I mean, God bless him,
Hey, everybody's got
everybody's
their art.
got so
their art,
like I say, everybody's its own Rembrandt.
And like like you were saying, with social media now, there's the beautiful part of this organization and social media is we get to kind of like eliminate the bullshit artists,
Well, we got to be real. We have to tell it like it is.
Well, now there's people enough out there that'll come on and they'll tell you that you're a liar.
And what happens is that I have books. I'm one of the few people who actually have the actually print out of everything. I keep everything. I have recordings. So anybody can call me out on this thing here. Guess what? I'm going to put the proof on their face. Nobody can call me a liar.
Right.
That's why I can say what I can say by the power vested in me. The Legends of Vinyl is up and running, okay? So, I'm it's just what it is. We owe the respect to the people who paved the way so all of you guys can actually have the pleasure of playing music and call yourselves DJs.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
this is a wonderful opportunity for us to learn about Jimmie, his personal life. And I'm sorry that if I want to go, but you have a lovely family. You have a wonderful family.
Oh, yes.
I met your sons. I met obviously your wonderful wife, Betty. Hi, Betty. You're a gorgeous woman. I don't know what you're doing with this man, but
Yeah.
you know. And your mom,
My
an
mother.
incredible lady as well. And
My
I want you
mother.
to give us a little, give us, because when I met your mom, I just
Well,
can't
you know-
put it in words. I
you know,
mean,
my
she's
mother-
an amazing lady.
My mother is she is incredible. When I started DJing and I was getting the big gigs out and different events and stuff, my mom wanted to go with me. She wanted to tag along, and I would bring my mother, and she was having a blast. She was having a blast, and
Absolutely.
she loved it, man. She still loves it.
Yeah.
Well, to the point where when we acquired this building where the Club at Renaissance is at, she opened up the Studio Cafe Lounge, inside restaurant lounge.
Wonderful
And
place.
she's got that club going, man. She's got that thing going on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday. Sunday being the older folks Sunday matinee club. And I say older folks. When we bought the building, it was 20 years ago.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And, 20 years ago, I was only 46, right? So in 20 years, I'm getting close to that door, to being a member of the club.
Yeah,
But
no,
let
no,
me
it
tell you,
is.
they have a fantastic time. My mom, most of my friends and followers, people that follow my music and me and my family, they know my mother, and they know that she's a trip, bro. She tells you just the way it is.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. And, the whole family, my whole family. My brother's up in Melbourne, Florida now. He's got a tremendous business going on up there. And, it's the Grand Manor. He's got a ballroom up there, and he's got a supper club. He's doing what we do here, but up in Melbourne. Great. And, my sister and my other sister. My sisters are probably, my older sister has always been my mom. She wants to be my mother. But that's okay. I'll let her once in a while. You know what I mean? But my younger sister, we're twins for this month. We're twins for 1 month. My mom and dad didn't have a TV. So
Wow.
they just got down and dirty. But that's our family. My boys, man. I got 2 of my boys, Jimmie and Mikey, and then 2 of Betty's boys who I consider my sons too.
Right.
Renee and Rolly. And,
Yeah.
we're
I met Rolly.
Rolly's a great musician.
Yeah,
He's
fantastic kid. Yeah.
Great producer. He's kicking ass. And my other son Jimbo's got the phone stores.
What's the name
and
of the band?
He's got Strictly Commercial,
Right.
and then the Young Americans.
The Young Americans. I
They're
was yes, I heard these kids play. I'm
They
sorry, with
jam.
all due respect.
They
With all
jam.
due respect and calling kids. They really jam.
And
These guys are unbelievable.
They
on the
have
stage.
fun,
What
doing it.
personalities and all of
Yeah.
that. And Mikey, forget about it. Okay, Mikey is.
Mikey was
yeah.
Mikey and Jimbo both were working with me, managing the club. Jimbo took
Right.
on the duties for half of the time, and then Mikey came in the next 6 years. 5-6 years. Jimbo had a great thing going on. He picked up the roots too with Reno's on Thursday nights. It was an awesome club for college students. That went on for 5 years, but now he's got tremendous fixed to repair
Ooh.
cell phone stores. He's
Right.
got one in Broward, another one in Dade, right? So, I couldn't be prouder of all my kids. I got mortgage brokers, I got bankers, I got pimps with limps. I don't know what the hell, but I'm a grateful. Listen, I'm a grateful
Yeah.
person, man. I gotta say that throughout my life, I've been through my ups and downs. A lot of my friends know that life in the 70s and 80s. You get tied up. When we had Club Infinity, we opened up. It was level 3 before that, and the 747 before that. And in 1984, we opened up Infinity, and that tri-level club was kicking serious ass.
Ooh.
And at that time, the cocaine and all the good drugs that were, I say good drugs, if there ever was anything.
I'm inspired by that.
Good
I remember
drugs.
those days.
Yeah, good drugs.
Yeah, we're survivors, man.
Yeah,
We
man,
survived.
yeah.
We survived, and I think Bob Miro is having problem. Ernie, if you're listening, Bob, try to help Bob Miro. Sending me a note. How do I come to? So Ernie, contact Bobby and get him on the
Bob
chat.
Miro. There's
Bob
another
Miro.
guy.
That's another guy. That's an
Yeah,
incredible
man.
talented man.
Backstreets,
Yes,
bro.
that's right. That's
And
right.
you know that was one of the things too. There was an individual that was saying that he was a DJ at Backstreets, and I said,
my
I don't
God.
think so.
Yeah,
you know?
Bob Miro is supposed to be with us in the chat. Is coming up. Let's see. Oh, July 25th, the 25th of July.
Wow.
And we having such an incredible time with the Visual Radio, the Visionary Haven.
Right.
Jim and I are really engaged in bringing this incredible opportunity, really, for a lot of people. First of all, about 14 weeks ago, I decided, since we were locked in, nobody can get out, this and that, I called my friends and I called Jim and said, hey, why don't we go on Facebook and we just have this camera like I did it in 2009. I started doing this. And, so we started streaming, on Sundays, I think it was starting. 14 weeks later, and it really has become something interesting. So, but unfortunately, the algorithms, Facebook, whatever the other platforms are for social media, they are not too friendly. They keep knocking us out. They're muting us and so on. And what we cannot get the point across is that look at all these records that you have here, that I have here. We got them. 1969, 1970, and 1971. The promoters, the record labels were giving us this to promote. That's what we do. We promote it, Jimmy.
Play 'em for the first time. And
every record has promotional copy, not for sale. And we, the ones that actually are supposed to be promoting, is a win-win for ASCAP and BMI and all of them, but Facebook. So I said to myself, let's get ourselves a freaking radio of our own that we can do it legally, obviously, because that's what it's all about. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to do anything that is illegal. So Jimmy says, all right, let's find a ways, let's find a solution. And we contacted quite a few friends of ours, the full team, the ones that came forward and continue to support the idea. And we got a hold of Ernie Lombardi, a good guy, a really good guy.
A really good guy.
A fantastic gentleman who very knowledgeable about the technology, because I know nothing about technology, unfortunately. So he took the task to do this. And by the way, Ernie is like Jimmy. When I was on tour across the country, 1979 or 78, I think it was, when I left Dallas, Texas at Da Vinci, Ernie took my place. There you go. So it's a lot of people who I have, known for so many years. So we have this new radio, Visual Radio. Please help us, support us. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for investors. We're looking for people that can actually help us continue, because somebody have to support this. And so we want to bring you some incredible music. We have on Saturday and Sundays for the next week, Michael Zager. Okay, let's all chant. Remember Michael Zager, among so many other. He will be at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Sunday, the 19th, Linda Clifford.
Our girl.
Oh, yeah. So we had another board of director of the Legends of Vinyl. I adore her. Yeah. Bob Miro on the 25th. Lenny Zagadak, a.k.a. Gonzalez. He will be on the 26th. I haven't stopped dancing. He will be coming from London to be with us. Roy B. in August 1st. DJ Chico Star on the 2nd. Al Magliano will be on the 8th. DJ Frank Core on the 9th. And there is a surprise interview on the 15th. DJ Jimmy U on the 16th. Frankie Sestito, Philadelphia's own.
Frankie who?
Frankie who?
Frankie
Frankie who?
Hey.
The Who will be with us.
I love Frankie.
And then I'm trying to get Walter Piper, then Denise Montana, and a very good friend of ours, Butch Ingram, of the Ingram family, will be with us. That's just the list that I have until the end of August. So stand by, because right now I'm happy to announce that there are people who are coming to perform or to have a radio on the Visual Radio, like DC LaRue Al Magliano, Ernie Lombardi, Cheryl Ray Yates of the Rays. She will have her own show. Ted Carrier, if you remember WBLS with Frankie Crocker, he will be as well part of this. Bob Miro, Jimmie Elias, Danny Pucciarelli,
Yeah.
Joey Carvello, Mary Seymour of the Ladies of Music 2, Carol Williams and Devern Williams. Hopefully they're trying to produce something there. Frank Core, Tad Bonvy from Boston. Izzy Sanchez will be with us. Jerry Lembo. Johnny, Soho Johnny will also have a show. And Lenny Zagatak from London will also have. Victor Rosado. Richie Rich, a.k.a. Ricardo Torres, the guy who really packs this Miami club called Hunters in Fort Lauderdale. Ray Vasquez and Tony Cintorino. That's the list that we have of people that are going to be on this channel, this virtual DJ. So what do you think about that?
Well, no, the list is outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when I'm playing live, I always introduce the show, from
Right.
L.O.V, our Legends of Vinyl show, whether it was on the other formats that we
Right.
were platforms that we were using. But this is great because I'm looking at my phone and all the people that are logging in. Some of our brothers, man. Geraldo Martinez, what's up, Jerry? Jerry was one of my first members at the Jimmy E Disco Club at Salon Azul. He's got his membership card. He's
right?
number 001.
Wow.
And he sends
How
it to
cool
me
is
all
that?
the time. Frank Core. I'm loving hearing your wonderful stories, guys.
Frank Core is on
Yeah,
online?
Chico Star.
My brothers. I love you guys.
These guys are checking in. Ernie Lombardi, what's up, Ernie? I just, this, it's heartfelt, man. Sue Bell, we got Bonnie, this is wonderful. And you guys can log in.
And it's free. This is not XM radio.
There's no money.
There's no money involved. You can just click there and tell your friends.
Yeah.
For example, later on, we're going to play. There's no ways that we're going to get shut down. We are
Right.
playing all the time. We're going to open this radio station from 10 a.m. till whatever. I mean, Monday through Sunday,
And it's
7 days a week.
Be great music. Like Lewis said, every time we've been performing on Facebook Live, you guys know, we'd play for like 38 minutes, 48 minutes. If you're lucky, 55 minutes.
Right.
And then they'd cut our stream. And I tell you guys, listen, you see this finger? They call me Fast Finger Jimmy, man. For other
That's
reasons.
another AKA?
Yeah, it's for other
For the
obvious
other-
reasons also.
Stay away
I have
from
that
me.
long finger,
Stay away from me, brother.
But this would be like, okay, you guys, they'd send that notice. You're going to get cut off, if you continue.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody that was listening, get ready, guys, routine 38, because they'd cut us off. I'd push, boom, go back live. And in less than 30 seconds, all the listeners were back on. Well, we don't have to be interrupted anymore.
Right. It's a little frustrating, I think, for both ends, both parties, the audience and for the DJ who's trying to kind of continue
rhythm going.
or get into whatever mood that you're in and bring some entertainment to all of you. And it is indeed our pleasure to do that, okay? Well, we want to recreate anything? No, we don't want to recreate nothing because you can.
Right.
You can. There's a lot of people, I want to do a Studio 54. No, you can't. You can never do what you did yesterday. Again, you can't.
Right.
Okay? I was in my 20s. I was incredible. I was fantastic. I cannot do what I did back in my 20s, in my 30s or my 40s. Not even yesterday.
They have pills for that.
They do, right?
Yeah.
They're like purple pills?
Yeah, blue.
Oh, they're blue.
Yellow and blue.
All right.
Yeah.
He takes them. That's why
No,
he knows the colors.
no.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Erector. You don't have to worry about me. But anyway, the reality of our little project that we have going on, it's not such a little project. It's taken a few weeks, to just start the basics. And as Lewis was saying, no more interruptions, man. Can you imagine? You can be driving your car. You just go to the L.O.V page, click on the link, and you go Bluetooth to your car radio, and you're listening to live DJs playing, the best music.
Unless you're Bob Miro, who can get into it right now.
Well, hey, listen.
Hey, Bobby.
It was hard working at Backstreet.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was difficult. There were a lot of drugs there. But we had so much fun, man, back in those days. You know,
That's
yeah,
fucking terrible.
yeah. You know, listen. You know, we lived it. We lived through it, and thank God we survived. Right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why we're here.
I did forget a lot. I have people who remind me about certain things. I asked Ricky, "What do you remember? What the hell happened back in the?" Oh my God, he says, "You don't want to know."
Right.
And it's like, wow, amazing things. But we're here for a reason. God
Right.
knows
Right,
why.
right.
But let me go back to Jimmie, because this is all about Jimmie. What message do you have for fellow DJs nowadays? Now the DJs are trying to make it into the business because it's going to be hard. After this situation,
Pandemic,
the
the
nightclub
pandemic.
business itself
Yeah.
is no longer what it was.
Well,
You know, what 5 months ago, or even even 5 months ago. Unfortunately, we were blessed that we were in the club business.
Yes,
when,
sir.
You know,
well, I speak to my friend Alex Gutierrez, he's one of the founders of the other group of DJs from South Florida, the South Florida DJ Association. A lot of you guys that might be out there listening, I appreciate you guys checking in with us, and I appreciate your camaraderie as a DJ. We have to, my situation is very peculiar because not only am I a club owner, I've been a DJ all my life and a club owner, and the situation that they got us in right now is like, man, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. My fellow DJs out there that are mobile DJs, the DJs that work at the event centers like Renaissance Ballrooms, Renaissance at the Gables for weddings and quinces, bar mitzvahs, all that stuff, we're at a complete shutdown right now.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, and there are a lot of DJs, new DJs are hoping
to come back. Yeah, well,
and,
you know what? It's going to come back. Listen, if you have patience,
patience,
and perseverance, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, in my life, I can only tell you in my life what I went through, the perseverance that I had and my family had to acquire what we've got today. It was a lot of patience and perseverance. Remember the old adage about the elephant and the ant,
Con paciencia y disciplina,
Y mucha
un
saliva.
elefante
Se comió la
se
hormiga.
comió la hormiga.
Yeah, yeah.
Epa.
So,
No,
that's but I just need guys to understand something, man. In this difficult time of this pandemic, I know some of us want to say, hey, F the pandemic, F this. I want to say it. I want to be the first one to tell these guys, hey, and I really, truly believe, I feel for the people that have been afflicted with this disease, okay, this COVID shit, whatever it is, COVID-19, 38, 47. It sounds like a football game, which there's not too many of those going on either. But anyway, the real thing is, listen, for us people that have businesses, owners of restaurants, owners of stores, but restaurants, banquet facilities, ballrooms, the clubs, the bars, we're the ones really going through the deepest suffering part right now. I know there's all kinds of suffering, man. You could categorize suffering in so many different ways. But ours is a financial situation for all our employees, for all the DJs that are right now unemployed. I hope to God most of you guys had, really full-time jobs besides being a DJ.
Very important. Very important.
You
Absolutely. That's an incredible, because, I've been doing this for 49 years now. Obviously, I had a side office in New York, but really late in my life, really. Basically, it's hurtful for anybody to think that you can just be a DJ and that's it. You can't.
Right.
Not now.
Those days
are gone.
Listen,
So you
back
have
in
to
the
have a
day,
second plan.
remember back in the day, we would work 4, some of us 5 nights a week.
7 nights a week. Yeah.
And making good money. You know what I'm saying? Some of us were fortunate back in those days.
Yeah, sure.
But in today's world, the other thing I wanted just to touch on real quick before I forget, if anything has happened, any good has come from this pandemic, this situation we're in, a lot of guys have reached out to one another for the first time.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
they've reached out to one another. They've asked for information and suggestions. You know, they've asked, you know, some of the older guys like us. You know, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen? You know, Louis Martinet, one of our good brothers. You know, he's you know, we were talking the other day about all this. You know, and how he was fortunate enough to have another source of income. You know, it's very difficult, guys. But I think at this time in our lives, what we're going through, we need to show one another the due respect. Okay, don't bash one
That's
another.
the magic word.
You know? Hey, listen, the bashing days should be gone already. You know, and if they're not, you know, you want to bash somebody, be a man and do it face to face. Like what's his name says, mano a mano. I'd love to, you know, there's a couple of people that would need a good ass whooping.
No. Facebook is a great place for, you know, people to hide behind this thing here and say things about it, you know.
Yeah.
And the more you succeed, the more people are envious.
Right.
And they're going to hate you guys. Really. They're going to hate you. Because they cannot manage to do, like a lot of people are very insulted because I happen to be a very successful. I never built a loser, so I don't know how to be a loser. I have always built something that makes sense and make money. So there are people out there going like, how dare he? I didn't think about that. Duh, you know, I'm sorry, pal, but you know, you know, I have to keep on keeping on. But this is basically important what Jimmy's telling everybody. Please help each other.
Right.
The idea is to help each other. Don't think that you are the biggest thing since sliced bread. You're not. Right. So you know, so make sure that you reach out to everybody because everybody puts the needle on the record the same exact way. Kabish?
Yeah, but some people scratch in different ways. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true, yeah. But anyways, Jimmy, you know, the message was good, and
you know, hey, listen, join us. You know, join us. You know, it only takes a little bit of informative, you know, status here on our page. If you click onto the Legends of Vinyl page, you can find out how you can support this organization and how we can help you in a lot of different ways.
Right.
If you're a newcomer to this, or if you just love music. If you love music, L.O.V. is the place. We have T-shirts, as Louis is wearing there.
We have T-shirts.
Today I brought my hat, you know, my L.O.V. hat. Everybody always asks me, I want one of those.
Yeah, we're going to open the retail store once again. We're going to add jewelry. We're going to add a few items that will be helpful to us because we need, like any other business, needs to survive.
And sustain,
we need to sustain, we need to do that. But we also asking for people to become a member. If you're not in the DJ Hall of Fame, you know, you can still become a member of the Legends of Vinyl.
And tell them what it takes.
Well, it takes only $25 for the year. $25. It will help us to maintain the website, to maintain everything, bookkeeping and lawyers, everything that a business handles, that money goes to it. We're not, you know, nobody's putting money. There's a lot of volunteers out there. Even our administration, wonderful lady like Sue Bell, we all know, Sue Bell, she is a volunteer. To this day, she's still, after 6-7 years, I think, with us, she still handles the entire administration.
Sue Bell,
all right,
a wonderful person.
And,
you know,
I can't say enough about that lady because you know, she's always been there for us and to continue to support us. All right,
getting all kinds of messages. It's great. So we're gonna do this like an info commercial. You know, when you see the TV and they say, okay, for just $2.08 a month, you can subscribe to the Legends of Vinyl. You'll be helping and supporting all kinds of music lovers, right? It'll be a great commercial. Look, I did the math. $2.08 a month to subscribe to the Legends of Vinyl. Become a full-fledged member. You're going to get discounts. I know at the Club at Renaissance when we reopen, you get 25% discount on all your purchases there. If there's an act, you get 50% off on the entrance. And, you know, we're the house of live acts. You know, That's why I'm hoping they
Yes.
open this up, because I have 2 weeks before my birthday, and I would love nothing more than to bring down one of the fabulous acts. You know, it's just so hard for everybody to travel and the airports,
Wow.
and
You
it's
know.
just you know. But I think there's really a reason behind all of this shit. I don't know what it is. I believe that there's one person up there that knows why this is happening, you know, and he's going to take care of it. You know, I truly have faith. If you don't have faith, you know, then, you know.
No. You have to
Crazy.
have faith. Yeah,
You gotta have faith.
You gotta have faith.
So,
But,
so
you know.
Louis, so I'm trying to get the word out, okay?
Okay.
So, you know, the people on Facebook,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
If you go, you know, look, this
We
is
have a
funny.
page. I mean, I have 9 pages
funny.
on Facebook.
It's funny because we just went live over here on Facebook so people can hear and understand us. Say hi, Louis.
Hi,
We're-
Louis.
We're over there.
Yeah,
Look,
I'm over there.
we're
I'm
live over
like-
there.
I'm
There you
confused
go.
right now. I'm
got 'em-
over there.
I
I'm
got 'em
over there.
busy.
You know.
But guess what? We're over here. We're doing the live interview right now. Louis is interviewing me. But if you go onto the link that's right there on our page,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
go onto
absolutely.
the link, click onto the link. It's absolutely free. You have nothing to pay for, nothing to do like that.
If you go to legendsofvinyl.com, you find Visual Radio on the menu. Go there, free, and you can see us right now. In a few minutes, right after we finish this
Look at it.
interview, we're going to play a few songs for you guys
Right.
to be
Right.
happy and entertain yourselves.
Yeah, entertain yourselves. Hey, listen, we got all kinds of stuff for that. What's up, Jose? I got all my friends coming on, man. They're chiming in. Remember,
So what
go
are they-
to the.
What are they doing on Facebook? They
Well-
should be freaking, you know.
Hey, it's a Saturday afternoon. Everybody's starting to learn. Okay, Liz, you can tell everybody. Carlos Marino, all you guys, make sure that you go on and tell everybody. Share the message that you can click on to Legends of Vinyl.
legendsofvinyl.com.
Okay.
On the menu, Visual Radio, and that's all you need to do. Just click on the volume so you can listen to it.
Yes.
That's all.
Guess
You can
what,
actually
Zeke?
see us.
Zeke, what's up, Zeke? Mary, what's up, Mary Smithers? And Frankie Faze. All of our guys are coming on here. So I'm asking you guys to do one big thing. Maggie,
There you go.
all you guys, go over to Legends of Vinyl, click on, okay, and you're going to see a link because we're going to go live. Check it out. I got my shit set up.
Yeah,
over
Bob
here.
Miro.
Whoa.
Bob Miro finally made it to the
Bob
chat.
Miro's already on the
You
bid.
know, he said, "Can
Well,
I
check us
dance?"
out over here, Liz. Look, you guys, Frankie, check it out. You see that? We're live on Legends of Vinyl. We just did my interview, and we're getting ready to go live with the music. Jackie Torres, what's up? Hey. Frankie, get everybody, share this. Make sure you go to Legends of Vinyl, click on, and then click so you can come on live, okay? What's up, Jackie? Everything good? Great Saturday. Look at Luis Mario. He's happy as shit today, bro.
Yeah.
And we're happy because
Yeah,
we got
look
our
at
own station, man.
Oh, my
we got our
God.
own station. So let's do this, okay, Alejandro? All right? Okay, guys, I'm going to get ready to start playing some music for y'all. Woo!
There you go.
Wow.
Absolutely. So, you know, you guys can dance. Bob Miro, you can. Yes, you can dance. Oh no, there he's playing it back. But anyways,
Woo!
you know something, guys. You know, I had such a great time. I'm always having a good time with my friend Jimmie. You know, it's such a pleasure to have him here in the studio, because even though we live in South Florida, he is about I don't know, in another country. Where are you? In Coral Gables? You're in Coral
I'm in
Gables?
Miami, man. I'm in,
Yeah, okay.
you know, the club's in the city of Miami,
Right.
right on the edge of the Coral Gables line there.
Right.
Most people know 2340 Southwest 32nd Avenue. Our Renaissance Ballrooms is at 5910 Southwest 8th Street, which is in West Miami. And you know what? I'm just so excited to have some inspiration to open again, right?
Right.
You know, we were going to do a little protest thing for the mayor. And, you know, I think he's got enough on his plate. He could probably be listening to the suggestion. Let us open up again. You know, it's our constitutional right,
Yes.
whether or not we want to go to an establishment to sit down and eat, to go outside and play baseball, to do whatever we want. as American citizens, as Americans, or if you're living in America, you have the right to do whatever you'd like. Now, is it a smart choice? It's up to you. Only you know the choice, you know?
Only you know the choice. That's why you must always be safe. We are safe. It's a matter of fact, you know.
He's gonna show. Yeah, we got all kinds of, we social distance. We did our test. Thank God we're healthy. We're doing good. But for all you guys that are out there listening, if you're just tuning in.
When I talk to Jimmie, I'm
right
observing.
Well, kind
many
of look
things.
like Black Lives Matter. I don't know. What is that?
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Okay, there you go.
Stop that.
No, we're good. We're good. All lives matter.
All
That's
life
what I'm
matters.
saying.
All life matters.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what color you are.
But
music is
anyway,
music, and we love
We're
music.
all about the music, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We're all about the music.
So join us, man. Join us.
Check it out. Check it out. Wait.
He's listen. Yeah, we're kidding around a little bit.
I know.
But the reality of life is that everyone, all of you guys matter to us. Okay. At the Legends of Vinyl, we love everybody. That's what we stand for.
That's right.
Love.
Right. I
Love
don't care
is the
what
message,
anybody said.
right?
L.O.V. is the message. Remember that. And with that in mind, I know that it's a couple of minutes before 4 o'clock, but I would like to invite you to hang on, and we're going to try to just have a good time, just like we always do. And, okay, so just hang on. Don't worry about anything. Just turn the music up, volume up. We're going to go from microphone to full sound, and hang on tight, okay? Thank you so much. I want to thank Jimmie, and I want to thank all of you for listening today. The L.O.V. is the Message Legacy Hour chat. There is so much to talk about, but I something. There are people that you can actually, go deep into things with Jimmie. I can't freaking do that.
We got listen.
There's
There's so many things that we could talk about, but
Yeah.
the main message out there for you guys today is to stay safe.
Right on.
Make your own decision on what you would like to do. And if you decide to go out, make sure you wear a mask, social distancing. Keep the shit safe, man. You don't want to die. I mean, I don't want to die. So if you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine for you, but wear one for me, so that you don't infect me. Okay.
Correct.
And once again, L.O.V. Okay, Legends of Vinyl Visual Radio.
Right.
Okay.
legendsofvinyl.com/visual radio.
Yeah.
And there you are. No anything else other than just raise your volume accordingly. And there you have it. I mean, experiment a little bit as we go on right now in a few moments.
And
All
remember
right?
the commercial. For only $2.08,
$2.08,
you
okay.
can become. No, I'm only kidding. Please join us. Look at the same page you've been scrolling down on with Facebook Live and whatever. On my page anyway, and on my wall, you're going to see the link that you need to tag. And Lewis is going to get the music ready. I got my setup in the back here because we're getting ready to do that, Let me see how many people out there are listening to what we got to say. This is awesome, man. This is like, let's see. We got, let's see. Who do we have in here? Woo! Bob Miro. Can I dance? I like that. That's code for he finally got on. It's awesome, man. So if you guys have a problem getting on, you can text message me, and I'll get back to you to try to help you out with what you got to do to get onto the page, okay? All right?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Are you ready to watch it?
Let's do something.